Do you ever seem to catch yourself scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, watching all of these women who seem to have it all together? The perfect style, the effortless charm, and the kind of confidence that makes you think, how do they do that? And then you look at yourself, maybe after a tough day, and wonder, do I have that kind of confidence? But here's the thing, what we see online is a highlight reel, not the behind the scenes reality. And confidence is not some flawless glow up that happens overnight. It's definitely not about never feeling scared or never doubting yourself. Some of the most confident people I know, they still have their moments of insecurity, self doubt, and awkwardness. Confidence does not mean that you have to be fearless or perfect. It's about carving your place in the world and being okay with the fact that you're a work in progress, not some finished masterpiece. So if you're tired of second guessing yourself and you're ready to step into your own power, no drama, no pressure, just real talk, then stick around. Let's dive into the confidence hacks every woman needs to know. And let's first talk about that inner voice in your head, your inner hater. You know, the one that always finds a way to sneak in every time you try to do something new or bold? Like right before you send hit on a text, start a conversation, post a photo, take that first step towards a goal, it whispers things like, you're going to mess this up, you're not enough, who do you think you are? They will laugh. And you know what? Everyone has this voice. It's basically hardwired in our brains as a defense mechanism. It's like your overprotective bodyguard who's trying to keep you safe from failure, embarrassment, or rejection. But the problem is that voice is stuck on an endless loop of fear, doubts, and limiting beliefs. And it's echoing messages that you picked up years ago from past experiences, social media, and maybe even offhand comments from people around you. And most of us treat this voice like it's the absolute truth. We listen to it as if it's the final authority on who we are and what we're capable of. And that is where we lose our power. So how do you get it to shut it down? How do you get it to stop hijacking your confidence and energy? Firstly, recognize that it's not you. It's your inner critic playing a role. It's not your real self. It's a part of your mind that's playing out from old stories and fears. I imagine it as a scared, grumpy version of me who is honestly just trying to protect me from pain but is actually holding me back. And when you start catching yourself listening to that voice, pause and say, it's the inner hater in me talking again. The simple act of noticing creates distance. And suddenly you're not spiraling in your negative self-talk. You're just watching a noisy and annoying character from the sidelines. The next step is to question everything the inner hater says. When it says you're not good enough or you're going to fail, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this actually true? What evidence do I have in my life that proves the opposite? And what would I say to my best friend if they heard this voice? And you no longer absorb every single negative talk as fact. And you stop blindly believing your worst case scenarios. Third thing you do here is to flip that script. Give yourself a better story. When that voice tells you that you're not ready, tell it that you don't have to be perfect for you to start. And when that voice says something like they will judge you, tell it that I am worthy of respect no matter what anyone thinks. They're not just feel-good phrases, they're reminders of your real powers. Your inner critic is not going to stop talking, but this time you have a kinder, stronger voice responding back. Which brings me to my next point, that you have to be your own ally. A lot of the inner hater's powers comes from the fact that we have zero kindness and patience for ourselves. We keep beating ourselves up for not doing enough or messing up or being too sensitive. But what if you start treating yourself like a friend who's trying even when it's messy? When you stumble and feel insecure, say to yourself, it's okay, I'm human, I'm doing my best. Now, the next step is distract and redirect when needed. When you're stuck in that constant spiral loop, the best thing to do is to get out of your headspace. Go for a walk, dance to your favorite song, call a friend, or dive into a hobby that gives you joy. Movement and fresh experiences are known to shake up those negative feelings and bring you back to your power. The next thing I want to talk about is celebrating your small wins and progress. Your inner hater thrives on ignoring your growth. So you have to actively celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Finish the task, pat yourself on the back. Said no to something you didn't want, celebrate that boundary. And if you got out of your comfort zone, that is huge. The more you reinforce your progress, the less space the inner critic has to take over. Now I want to come to a very, very important part of the video, which is owning your life. You have to accept that life is not a perfectly curated Instagram reel. It's messy, unpredictable. You have to fully own your life. even the messy parts. If your life feels messy, congratulations, you're alive and evolving. Mess means growth, change, and learning. This is where all the juicy transformations happen. When you own your mess instead of hiding from it, you stop wasting your energy on shame and comparison. You give yourself permission to be human. Stable job, perfect relationship, glow up moment. But honestly, real life, it's not linear. Real life spirals, pauses, jumps, crashes, and then rebuilds. Every detour and breakdown adds texture to your story. That relationship that fell apart taught you how to honor your worth, gave you the courage to go after something real. That phase where you felt totally lost, it cracked you open again. The mess, it's part of the magic. Now, owning your life also means that you stop blaming outside circumstances and people for where you are. Yes, life throws curveballs, and yes, people do let you down sometimes. But when you take full responsibility of your life, you take your power back from them. You get to decide how to respond, what lessons to take, and how to move on. Owning your life means you're actively part of the solution, not a victim of the situation. Which also brings me to my next point: authenticity beats perfection every single time. Trying to pretend that you have it all together all the time only builds stress and disconnection. You're allowed to show up with honesty, vulnerability, and authenticity. Admit it when you're struggling, ask for help, and share your truth. This builds real connections and open doors for you. When you own your messy chapters, you're not hiding behind a mask. You're inviting people to see the real you, and that is where true confidence lives. Let's also talk about the fact that messy chapters, they come with mistakes. Owning your life means owning your mistakes without shame or denial. And let's get one thing straight: mistakes do not define you. It's how you respond to them that does. When you own your mistakes, you learn faster and build self trust. You stop being scared of failure and start seeing it as feedback. And honestly, nobody gets through life without messing up. Whether it's playing small, ignoring a red flag, trusting a wrong person, taking a leap that didn't land, we've all been there. Mistakes are a part of the deal when you're actually living. When you're taking risks, growing, loving, or trying. But what makes you actually move forward is radical ownership. When you stop running from your mistakes and actually reflect on them, you gain wisdom. And honestly, the kind that no guru or book can give you. Someone who knows that failure doesn't mean it's the end. It's just the part of the process. And mistakes don't lower your value, they build your depth. It means I trust myself to handle the consequences, to clean it up, to grow from this. That's leadership in work, relationships, and self growth. People feel when you're self responsible. It makes them feel safe with you, and it makes you trust yourself more too. And if you can accept where you went wrong without spiraling into shame or ego, guess what? You will naturally attract people who operate the same way. Confident women, they don't need to be perfect. They just need to be honest, real, and willing to grow. Coming to my next point, we are going to redefine what success means to us. Maybe your version of success does not mean climbing the corporate ladder or being married by 30 as advertised by the society. Maybe it's peace, joy, freedom on your own terms. You have to stop chasing someone else's checklist and start writing your own rules. You have to give yourself permission to curate your own timelines, your own priorities, and your happiness. And when you're rewriting your rules, you have to be aware of this confidence killer called comparison. Even when you open Instagram for 5 minutes, suddenly you're knee deep in someone else's engagement photos, luxury vacations, or that one blogger's reel of what I eat in a day, which consists of 4 smoothies and zero real life. Then you close the app, and then suddenly you're feeling left behind. Or maybe that you're doing life wrong. Sounds familiar? That is the quiet damage of scroll culture. It's sneaky. It doesn't come in yelling, you're not good enough. It whispers it in tiny, constant comparisons. And then you start comparing your real, messy, beautiful life against someone's highlight reel. The more you scroll, the more you get disconnected from your own joy, from your own wins, from your own rhythm, from your own joy. Because confidence does not come from watching someone else live well, it comes from living, from showing up for your moments, not theirs. So if your self esteem is feeling shaky right now, do not assume that something's wrong with you. Check your screen time first. Because your feed is not reality, it's strategy. The girl with the perfect body probably posed and edited for 45 minutes. The couple with the perfect picnic might have argued their whole way there. And this is not to judge anyone. This is just a reminder of what you see is not the full picture. Social media is part performance and part connection, but it's not the entire truth. Now, let's talk about the physical aspect of confidence. Here's the wild part: Your body is constantly sending out signals, and not in a dramatic watch me now kind of way, but in small, silent ways that people pick up on immediately. Are your shoulders slumped, or are your arms crossed like you're guarding yourself? Are your eyes darting like you're not even sure that you should be there? You might say confident things later in the room, but your body, it told the room everything that it needed to know. When you're comfortable with your body, even if it's just 10% more than yesterday, everything changes. You take up space without guilt. You don't shrink your voice or opinions. You make eye contact without instantly looking away. And you can start small, like micro small. See that when you're walking somewhere, notice that if you're hunched or speeding up like you're trying not to be seen. Try walking a little slower, unclenching your jaw, lifting up your chest just a bit. When you're speaking, practice not rushing. Breathe, pause, let your words land. People who are used to being ignored speak fast. This is your way of unlearning that. When you're in a conversation, don't cross your arms or fidget with your hair. Keep your body soft and open, and you will feel the difference in how people respond to you. None of this means that you have to be on all the time. It just means that you're not operating from the autopilot of don't look at me. The last thought that I want to leave you with in this video is that your voice is not a problem to manage. Think about the people who have moved you the most in your life. And they're probably not the loudest or the most polished speakers. They were the ones who meant what they said. That is what you're building, that kind of presence and power. Every time you speak up, no matter how small the moment, you raise your baseline. You feel more in integrity with yourself. And the best thing, you stop carrying the weight of unspoken resentment in your life. Okay, so those were the hacks. And honestly, these hacks are not just feel good tips, they are literal game changers. And the ripple effect, it's real. Having confidence completely changes the way you walk into a room. It completely shifts the people and the opportunities you attract. It helps you set boundaries without guilt, take up space without apologizing. Finally, go after what you want without constantly second guessing yourself. So, yes, these hacks, they were simple, but they stack. And the more you practice them, the more magnetic and unstoppable you feel.